I'm just going to have to do that again because I forgot to press the record button. Hi there everyone and welcome to Wilson Waffling Live. Today is Sunday the 13th of July and this is episode 9, end of term activities. So Wilson Waffling Live is brought to you today by me, Ian Wilson. No sponsors today, no sponsors at all. Okay, so welcome and have a look at this. Where do you think I am? Where do you think I am today? Have a look, have a careful look behind me. See if you can guess. It's nice and sunny out. Can I just say, before we go any further, that this is not my actual colour. I don't know what's going on here. I really need to get some lighting sorted because this is now dire. It looks like I've been painted orange. I have no idea what to do with this. I think I need to get some proper lighting to sort of like whiten out my face because I look like some orange suntanned person at the moment. So anyway, welcome to Wilson Waffling Live. Can you guess where I am? Can you guess where I am? It's somewhere not close to where I teach. Somewhere not close to where I teach. Okay, and if you listen to the whole show, you probably get some indication halfway through whereabouts it is, and you might not, but if you know, then you can always tweet me, and you can tweet me the answer, there you go, at iWilsonYSJ, and of course, if you do tweet me, and if you get it right, then you will be put in for the I Waffled with Wilson badge. And last month, this is a new month, even though it is currently the 13th. This is a new month, so at the moment, no one is in. No one is actually in for this month's draw. Remember last week's, if you want to see who won last month's, then you'll have to go and watch last week's video. That's when I'm in the yellow jersey ready for the Tour de France or the Tour de Yorkshire. So you can nip back and see that. That was last week's. And this is a new month. So if you can guess where this is, it's a famous town in the UK. I'll give you that. So welcome to Wilson Waffling Live, and today it's going to be a bit different because it's going to be, that's my phone ringing, but we're going to ignore it. We're just going to ignore it and hopefully it'll go away. Hopefully, still, you know, there's several things I need to do, and one of them is actually turn my phone off or unplug it before I start waffling. Anyway, what can I tell you about today? Well, first of all, I'm not going to have the usual sort of like exploits, like images and things, because I've been away all last week. And I was away all last week, and I was at this place last week. But before that, I went somewhere else. Before that. And while I was at that new place, that's my phone going off now. So you've had two main phone and secondary phone. So here we are. This is me last week, and this is when I was out and about last week. And this is the first place I went to, which is not the place on the actual picture. This place was somewhere in the UK. And I was honoured enough to be a guest speaker. And I was a guest speaker at a HEA, Higher Education Academy, about social media. And I went down to a place called... I went down to Birmingham, and I was lucky enough to be asked to do a special as a guest speaker to talk about how I actually use social media in higher education. So if you sort of like want to go and have a look at that, then you can nip over to Wilson Waffling, and you can see just there me as a guest speaker. Okay, so you can go and have a look at that there, and that is me as a guest speaker for Wilson Waffling. Okay, so next let's have a look at what's on Wilson Waffling this week. Let's have a look at what's on Wilson Waffling this week. So after I went to the to talk to teachers, people from higher education who were new to social media, that was in Birmingham, which is not here. You need to guess where this is. Wasn't there, so I went to there to talk to them about using social media. And there's several. I wrote a blog post. You can see it here, me as a guest speaker, just there. And then when throughout the week, I found a Twitter. I tweeted a link about poetry, and this was my poem. This was my poem that I wrote, and I linked to it and said to people, have a look at my poem, tell me what you think. And here it is, my attempt at poem. And I just thought I would read it to you. Across the sky from dusk to dawn, along ancient paths, eons worn, slow I move, full of grace, with stone-set features on my face. And now see what I've got here. I don't know if you can see this now, but if you have a look, did you see just underneath it, I've set up a rating system, a bit like Facebook, where you can say, yes, I like. So I find it really difficult to see who's actually reading Wilson Waffling and who's actually sort of like engaging with it, because nobody makes comments, and I totally accept that, because I never make comments anywhere either. Okay, I often read a lot of things, but I never make any comments. So I thought what I'll do is that I'll stick this little rating system down there, and then people can actually at the end, if they thought, oh, it's good, they can click on it and actually rate me. So as you can see down at the bottom, it's actually there at the bottom, and you can say it says rate this, and you can either rate it up or rate it down. So I'm going to give myself an up, thank you, and I can give myself a down. Oh, I can't give myself a down. Thank you. Okay, so you can go one way or another. I'm going to keep with the up, because otherwise I'll feel sad. So by all means, what I would like you to do, just to see whether or not it's working, and just to see whether or not this rating system works, if you could nip across to that blog post, you don't have to do it now, but nip across to that blog post and have a look and rate my poem. And rate my poem to see whether or not, just so I can see whether or not it works or not. So if you want to be really mean and give it a lot of thumbs down, then that's absolutely fine. But if you feel, oh, I really want to give it a thumbs up, then give it a thumbs up. But don't worry, this is not a I like Ian's poem vote. This is, does it work? Okay, because I want to see whether or not it's a good, I want to get some idea of whether or not what I'm blogging is of interest to people, or whether or not people like it or not. So that's there now. So I'll put the link down below. So if you want to go and have a click on it, then go along and click on it. Now then, back to Wilson Waffling, because this week's post is all about the end of term. Now, we all know that the end of term is coming up rapidly. I think people have just got one more week to go. So 5 more days, and then that's it. So if you're actually a teacher at the moment, you'll probably be thinking this time next weekend, you will be sunning yourself somewhere with your feet up, enjoying sunshine like this, and maybe getting as orange or brown as I am now. So 1 week, that's all you've got. And so I thought I would give you some indication of the things that I used to do in the last week of term. And I start off this this sort of like post, just sort of like saying to people about how it's important to keep the learning going. Okay, so keep it going and keep it sort of like active so the children are still engaged. And believe me, the more you keep it active, the more you keep it going, the quicker the time will fly. Okay, and if you don't, then behavior problems might start to be generated, or the children might become disengaged. And really and truly, even if you're not doing a huge amount of planning, do some planning. Do some planning so the children know what they're doing, and they can sort of like engage with it still right the way up to the bitter end. Now, you might remember that just here, the sports day, I did a blog post a while back that was about using mathematics in math, using mathematics in math, using mathematics in sports day and sports, and it was called physical maths. It was called physical maths. So if you want to go and have a look at it, it's one of my famous blogs, my famous waffles, because it was actually picked up by UK EdChat and actually broadcast on their page. Okay, so if you would like to go along and have a look at that, then the link's there. So one of the first thing I talk about here is this idea of a welcome to the class. And one of the important things to sort of like remember is that if you get at the end of your year, it's a good idea to sit down with the children and to get that idea about what went well and what didn't go well. Okay, and what actually they thought was really enjoyable and what they thought didn't work well, because sometimes we have this almost like false perception and we think something is fantastic, but really and truly they don't. The classic example of this is that I often see student teachers or trainee teachers, or where was the later on in the week, last week in this place, they actually called them interns, which was nice. Anyway, the idea that sometimes we sort of like say, and I've done this, I do it all the time, I think, oh, I really like plate tectonics, I really like volcanoes, I go in there to teach them, and because the children are not that excited about it, then the lessons fall flat. So it's really good to feedback or look back on what they've done and how they've done it, and to get some kind of information from them about what they've thought went well. And this can allow you to then feed forward, and you can start to sort of like identify the positives, the things that the children like, to feed into your next year's planning or your next year's organization. And rather than doing it isolation yourself, during the summer, you can do it now and then get some ideas, especially if you've got your TA with you as well, and they can sort of like make some notes. What I would do then is that once I've done that, I would actually get the children to write down a letter following a template and actually send it to children who are coming into the class, and you can sort of like put it in a basic template. What have you enjoyed? Piece of advice, like always make sure you set time for your homework. And then you can actually not email it, send the letter old-fashioned style, snail mail, to the other class on the last day before they go home, which would be really nice. And of course, in another lesson, you can actually make the envelope, okay, and decorate it so it's really personal. And I don't know if you remember, but do you remember those selfies? I wrote a blog post about using selfies, and one of the things that you might want to use is that you might want to sort of like use those selfies again. There is. It's called Facing Up to Selfies. And if you can't remember it, it's the one with my scary picture on as a wanted poster. And what you might want to do is use those selfies again. And you can actually make stamps out of them by reducing them down. You can get the whole class virtually on an A4 bit of paper, and they can put little writing on it and then shrink it down and then print them off. So each child will have a letter to their new class member and an envelope and a stamp, and that would be sort of like everything together. So that's what my first activity that you can do. Now my second activity is to do with stained glass windows, hence the picture at the front. And the idea of this is that the children take a piece of paper, and it could be either A4 paper or it can be A5 paper, depending whether or not you want them to do lots or whether or not they're good at drawing and need a bigger sheet. I wouldn't go for A3, but A4 or A5. And they draw lines in pencils, crisscrossing left, right, and centre, like this. And then what they do is that they reminisce, or they think about all the activities that they've done throughout the year, and then they actually draw images in those spaces. And they draw the images in, and then they colour them in. Okay, so everything's sort of like coloured in and done. And then encourage them to colour in the background. And then once it's all done, then the next thing they need to do is that where the original pencil lines were, take a felt tip pen and draw over those lines, and then go around the outside as well. And if they get a nice thick marker pen and put it down and then trace it half on and half off with a scrap piece of paper underneath, then that puts the border around for them. And then what they'll have a stained glass window of the year's events, and it's a good time to engage the children in discussion and to actually talk to them and see what they remember and what they don't remember. So that's the stained glass window. Now, the last thing on here is something that I used to say right at the beginning with the children in my class. And one thing I used to do right at the beginning is that I used to sit them down, and on the first day I used to say to them, before you know it, guys, before you know it, this year will be finished. It will have gone and it will be ended, and that's it, finished. And because time goes so quickly, and I say to them on the first day, I said, before you know it, I will be stood in front of you saying, well done, this year is now over, enjoy your summer holidays, hope you've had a good year, bye-bye. And I say it on the first day, then I forget about it. I don't mention it all year, and the children soon forget about it. And then on the last day, the last 2 minutes just before they go, I always stand at the front. They're there to put the chairs on the table. They're clutching their bags to take home, and the PE bags and everything. And I say to them, can you remember the first day when I said to you that before you know it, this year will be over and I will be saying goodbye to you for your summer holidays? Well, this is this time. Have a nice summer holidays. Bye-bye. And they're like little adults. They sort of like say, oh, where did the year go? It went too fast. So. And then they all say goodbye and off they go. And you're left in that peace and quiet once they've gone, and with normally a pile of presents, which is lovely. I've always valued the presents from the children. They've been fantastic. Everything from deodorant, chocolate, wine, beer, pillows, everything's been fantastic. And I do say thank you to anyone who actually sent me anything. So finally, down at the bottom of the blog post, I talk briefly about other activities that I've done, things like making superheroes teams similar to the Fantastic Four, also a dummy guide to year 3-4, surviving year 3-4, and also creating a video or podcast, speaking to themselves in 10 years time. So if they were 8 now, what would they like to say to their selves when they were 18? And that's sort of like the last bit that I put. And just to let you know, at the bottom there it is, look again. If you get right the way down to the bottom of a blog post ever, then there's that little rate up, rate down thing to say that you've either liked it or disliked it. And then that'll give me some indication of the what you want me to blog about in the future. So that's Wilson Waffling. This week I'm hopefully going to do a new Minecraft video. I haven't done one for a long time, and I do apologize. Last week I was away, so I had no opportunity to film one at all. So hopefully this week I will get it done and we'll have a new Minecraft video. I must say, the reason I haven't done one is that I actually have to watch a tutorial video before I actually make mine, if that makes sense. So I have to sort of like watch a tutorial, write notes about it all, and then record my Minecraft. So it takes me a bit of time, but hopefully sometime this week we'll have Wilson Waffling in Minecraft. If you haven't seen any of them, but then by all means go pop back. If you go to my wilsonwaffling.co.uk, there is a tab at the top that was called Waffling in Minecraft, and you can go and see my exploits, including when I get an arrow in my head. Yep, I actually get an arrow in my head, so it's worth going and having a look at it. Also, don't forget you can watch previous episodes of Wilson Waffling Live either on Ustream, or you can go to my YouTube channel. Now remember, the YouTube channel is quite exciting at the moment, because if you remember, my New Year's resolution was to get 25 subscribers. 25 subscribers. Now currently I have got, wait for it, I'm just loading up. The reason there's a pause is because I am loading up YouTube on my other computer, so I can see how many subscribers I have. Ready? Here we go. Drum roll. Drum roll. You can't hear that, but I'll just drum roll. Drum roll. And we have got, or I have got, 22 subscribers. I don't think that's changed from last time. I don't think it's changed from last time. Let's just zoom in there so we can see it. Definitely 22 subscribers there, look. So if you've got a spare moment over the summer holidays and you want to help me out, then by all means go and watch Waffling in Minecraft, or go and watch the previous episodes of Wilson Waffling Live, and make up an account, hit the subscribe button to help me get to my 25. I just need 3 more. So I only need 3 more. 3 more subscribers and I'm there. Okay? So if you 3 more subscribers, make up a new account or whatever, and or use your existing account and go along and subscribe, and you can have the joys of seeing Episode 8, Yellow Jersey, and found out who won the badge. Who won the badge? That's me in my yellow jersey in the Tour de France. Here's me frolicking in nature. With nature, sorry, not in nature. Okay, and here's making a holding pen and killed a zombie, and you can see the Wilson Waffling world of Minecraft there, and then previous Wilson Wafflings there, and then down at the bottom there's my other uploads. It's interesting that this one, which is the Calabro one, again is still at the top with 92 views. 92 people have seen that, which is quite impressive. Last week's Yellow Jersey results for badge, 23 views. 23 views, which is pretty good going. Pretty good going. So I must admit, as you know why that one got. It's not because it's fantastic content, it's because I cheated and put Calabro in the hashtag. So remember, if you would like to follow me on Twitter, then you can find my tweet name there at iWilsonYSJ, and that is what you'll need if you want to tweet me and tell me where you think I am in this picture. Where do you think I am in that picture? Okay, and I was actually in this place, and I did actually take that picture. Okay, so, and then if you do that, if you manage to tell me that and all my right answers, so go on, ready for the spinning of the wheel for the decide now to see who wins the I Waffled with Wilson badge, okay, for July. So hope you've enjoyed watching this YouTube by video of Wilson Waffling Live, and if at all possible, if you ever want to come and watch it live, I'm going to try to get this chat room up and working because it's still not working that well. By all means, pop along and watch me live, or you can go back and watch the previous episodes on my webpage or Ustream or YouTube. Click the subscribe button if you can, and make sure you give me some thumbs up or thumbs down. I forget which way round it is. Okay, either one, I just need to see that there's some interaction. So, follow me on Twitter. Hope you've enjoyed this show. If you would like me to talk about anything in particular, then drop me an email or get into contact with me in the usual way. This has been Wilson Waffling Live, and this waffle is over. Have a great Sunday, and I'll see you all later. Catch you later. Bye.